Let me adjust this camera real quick. There we go. All right. What is up, everybody? Welcome in to another live stream. Hope y'all... Oh, my hat is... Got some dust on it. Let's go backwards again. Much better. Hope you guys all got some rest from last night after our late night stream. I appreciate everyone who was here for that. Yeah, finally figured out how to get the Brantsteele to work. So we've got our cast. Let me just move this around real quick and we'll get all set up. If you're here, say what's up in the comments. Love to hear from you guys. Nope, where did my screen go? There we go. All right, so like I said, if you guys are here, love to hear from you guys. Where'd it go? There it is. If you can, give us a sub at After Show on YouTube if you're watching on Twitch. And if you're watching on YouTube, go to twitch.tv/Bobby Goodsby. Send me a follow. It would mean the world to me. I appreciate you guys. And you can follow me at Goodsby Bobby on Twitter and on Instagram. So without further ado, let's get into it because we finally set up the cast of what we think would be the perfect Survivor versus Big Brother season. And so I decided to multi-stream it both on YouTube and on Twitch. And let me pull that up for you guys. So here's our cast. All right, so we got the Brantstelle pulled up here. All right, so we kind of went over it the last few days and decided on a cast that we thought would be perfect. Now, there were some stipulations for this cast. One, they could not have played both Survivor and Big Brother. So we had to take out people like Sari, Hayden, Caleb. Those are the only three. But we had to remove them from the game because we wanted people that are going to be fresh to Big Brother from Survivor and then Big Brother players that haven't played Survivor. So with this cast, we wanted it also to be entertaining while also being, diverse, maybe have some wacky characters, but at the same time also have characters that are bigger names that we could see play in a season like this. So for those of you that aren't privy to this, we have Maria Gomez, Brittany Haynes, Carolyn Weiger, Davon Rogers, Dan Giesling, Daniel Reyes, Davey Rickenbacker, Derek Levasseur, Earl Cole, Jatia Taylor, Keanu Soto, Kelly Wentworth, Owen Knight, Paul Abrahamian, I think that's how you say his name, PG Law, Rachel Riley, Rob Sesternino, Tyson Apostle, Vanessa Rousseau, and Xavier Prather. All right, so without further ado, let's get into our simulation. We set it up so that it's a 9-person jury, and I just let it do the simulator decides everything. So we're going to have some fun with this. We're going to see where this takes us, and this is the season we created. All of us here, we all, universally decided through our Twitch community, this was the cast we wanted for Survivor versus Big Brother for Big Brother 28, if they'll ever give it to us. So here we go. Let's proceed. And I appreciate you guys all being here with us. All right. So first off, alliances. Alliance number 1. Ooh, I like this one. I don't know how well this will pan out after their trader stint. That's a little interesting. So we got Carolyn and Danielle. Loyalty 8. Okay. So alliance number 2, strength is 7. We got Abby Maria and Earl, which would be an interesting combo. I think Earl would be like the perfect way to like offset Abby Maria's, wild card nature, where like Earl would be like the perfect person to be able to like bring her down to like his level and be like, listen, this is what we need to do. We got to move on like we got to move through the game like this. So it's kind of funny to see that. But I still go back to Carolyn and Danielle, like the strongest alliance, and we saw them on Traders together. I don't know if that would happen in real life. Alliance number 3, we got Davey and Xavier. We got, for alliance number 4, Abby, Maria, and PG. Man, the simulation is cooking right now because it has all these alliances, like the Carolyn and Danielle and the Abby, Maria, and PG. Like, there's no way. There's no way. All right, so alliance 5, strength 7. We got Davey, Earl, PG, and Xavier. All right, so that kind of tracks here. Then I'd be here for that alliance too. Then we got Abby, Maria, Davey, Earl, and PG. So very interesting. Oh, no. Let's proceed to the next one. All right. Going bananas. The house guests each cling to a large banana. The last house guest remaining on their banana will become the first head of household. Davon finished last. Danielle 19th. Davy 18th. Carolyn 17th. Earl 16th. Rachel 15th. Xavier 14th. Derek 13th. Paul 12th. Jatia 11th. Owen 10th. Large cast. If you're here, say what's up in the comments. Appreciate you guys. Keanu 9th. Brittany 8th. Tyson 7th. Was a little bit of shock there. Dan 6th. Abby Maria 5th. Vanessa Rousseau 4th. And the final 3 come down to PG, Kelly, and Rob Sesternino. All right. So show 3rd place. Rob gets 3rd place. Then we've got 2nd place, PG. So Wentworth is the winner of the first head of household. Let's go. Oop, I didn't click that. All right. Now, Kelly Wentworth begins the nomination ceremony. Show the keys. All right, here we go. Show key 1. Rob, you are safe. PG, you are safe. Abby is safe. Okay, okay. Earl is safe. Kind of figured that if Abby was safe. Carolyn's safe, so I wonder if that means Danielle's safe next. Okay, Paul. Rachel. Keanu. Dan. Brittany. I'm just doing this for the first one. I think for the future we might just go simulate to who are on the block. We got Tyson. Jatia. Vanessa. So who does that leave? Derek. Owen. And Dave Vaughn. All right, so who are the nominees? Ooh, one of the alliances in the house. So we got Kelly nominating Davy and Xavier. So we see a little bit of, Survivor versus Survivor blood here. They're going after each other. Doubt we'd see that in the actual house, but who knows? All right, so, and I set this up as like just basic Big Brother settings. I set it for like Big Brother 27, but I think it's not going to do like Blockbuster and all that. All right. So then they're going to, for POV, who they're going to pick, we got Kelly getting Vanessa, Xavier getting Derek, and Xavier getting Keanu. And now it's interesting. Kelly drew house guest choice, and she chose Vanessa. So see how that pans out. All right. Vincent Van Vito. The house guests enter the living room, which is decorated as an art gallery. Each round, an image appears on the screen. The house guests must buzz in and guess what Big Brother phrase the picture is referring to. If they are correct, they can earn a certain dollar amount. If not, they are eliminated. The house guest with the most money at the end, or the last one remaining, wins the power of veto. All right, so Derek finishes last. Davey finishes 5th. Kelly 4th. The competition comes down to Keanu, Xavier, and Vanessa. So Xavier needs this right now, but he's up against 2 comp beats. Let's just show the winner. Who's the winner? Keanu, once again, continuing his competition ways into Big Brother 28. All right, let's proceed. All right, Davey and Xavier state why they should be saved, and Keanu's decision. He's decided not to use the power of veto. So one of Davey and Xavier will be going up. Oh, I'm sorry. I said Survivor going after each other. Obviously, Xavier's Big Brother. So should be interesting. We got one Survivor, one Big Brother, one former winner, too. Let's see what happens. All right. Earl and Carolyn have a heated argument. Ooh. Brittany and Dan bond. Well, they have a history together. Davon finds Danielle creepy and tells the other house guests. Earl irrationally lashes out at Jatia. That tracks. PG and Brittany bond extremely well. All right, so let's go here. Brittany seems to be having a good rapport with everyone in the house. All right, Davey and Xavier face eviction. They give their speeches, show the votes. All right. I wish there was a way to just show the votes. I don't have to click it every time. She votes Xavier. Brittany votes Xavier. Carolyn votes Xavier. Davon, I vote to evict Xavier. Man, is it? Oh, there's Davey. Okay, we got one on the board for Davey. Dan votes Davey, which is interesting. Danielle, Xavier. Derek votes for Davey. Earl votes for Davey. Jatia votes for Xavier. Keanu, Xavier. Paul votes for Davey. We got PG voting for Xavier. I think Xavier's gone at this point. Rachel votes for Davey. We got Rob C voting for Xavier. We got Tyson voting Xavier, and Vanessa votes Xavier. So I believe Xavier's gone, but let's see which Big Brother players voted. So Big Brother on Big Brother Crime here and here. And here. So looks like it's not staying true to Big Brother versus Survivor. So we'll see what happens. All right, by a 12-5 vote, he is evicted from the house. Xavier is gone. So we'll proceed. All right, so now we're down to 19. It's gonna be a long one. We gotta start speeding it up a little bit. All right, so alliances. Carolyn and Danielle are still doing well. They're still one of the top strength alliances. We got Abby, Maria, and Earl. That one we saw before. Abby, Maria, and PG. Just cracks me up that those are all the alliances after what we've seen on actual TV before. What's up, Mary? How's it going? Thank you for joining. So far you haven't missed much. We just had Xavier go. Then we have Davey working with Earl and PG. And we have Abby, Maria, Davey, Earl, and PG. So it looks like they have a little side alliance, leaving Abby, Maria out of it. And then alliance events. We got Abby, Maria, and PG. So there's like a mixture of different loyalties here. And Abby, Maria, and those guys all seem to be a part of all of it. All right, so Big Brother Barbecue. The house gets into the backyard to see 4th of July barbecue set up, which we don't get that anymore. I know, not Carolyn and Danielle. Can you believe that? It's like Carolyn and Danielle and Abby, Maria, and PG. It's just hilarious to me. All right, so they don't do the Big Brother Barbecue anymore. I mean, we don't have it on 4th of July anymore because the season started afterwards. But, man, I miss seeing, the 4th of July on there. What is this, and is this live? Yeah, so we're live right now on YouTube and Twitch, but this is Brantsteele. For those of you not familiar with Brantsteele, we took our Survivor versus Big Brother cast that we created, and we plugged it into the simulation. The simulation goes through a Big Brother season and plays it out with an AI simulation of what it's thinking would happen. Now, it doesn't take into account, really, Big Brother versus Survivor, but it also gives us kind of a cool little in-between. The house guests enter the backyard to see 4th of July barbecue set up. They are each paired up and must work together to transport barbecue sauce from one end to the other. I remember this one. Fill up their jug and claim a ping pong ball. The first pair to retrieve their ball must decide which of them will become the new head of household. So like I said, guys, it's old school Big Brother, but not there's no blockbuster competition and all that. Shock, we had not really to move it back. Yeah, I know, right? Exactly. Davey finishes last. Derek finishes 17th. Blah, blah, blah. Let's get all the way down to the end. And the winner is... Competition comes down to Paul, Dan, and PG. So PG gets in power. She's got a lot of people working with her. Dan and Paul are kind of in this weird in-between spot. We don't really know where their loyalty lies. So I'd be interested to see how this pans out. So third place is Dan. Does PG take it with her alliance? She does. So we got a PG HOH. All right, so we'll proceed. All right, let's just show the nominees. I don't want to do one by one with the keys. It takes so long. All right, so she has nominated Tyson and Carolyn, a little Survivor on Survivor crime here. Here we go. So we will proceed. Maybe she's threatened by Tyson. Tyson is very likable. He could be very likable in the house. And Carolyn, kind of a wild card. She does have some alliances, though, with Danielle. So let's see what happens. So PG drew house guest choice and chose Brittany, which is interesting because we haven't seen Brittany be a part of that alliance with Earl, her, Abby, Maria, and Davey. So that is interesting that she picked Brittany. Maybe trying to not give away the scent. Tyson picks Keanu, which is interesting. We haven't seen a relationship there, but maybe there's something brewing. And Keanu is a beast, so maybe that's why. And then Carolyn draws Abby Maria. Oh, obviously he didn't pick him. I was thinking house guest choice, but yeah, he just drew him. Abby Maria, okay, and she's working with PG, so she will probably want to keep the nominations the same. So let's go. So PG finishes last, Carolyn 5th, then Tyson 4th. So we're down to Keanu, Brittany, and Abby Maria. I think for Tyson and for Carolyn, the last person they want to see is Abby Maria because I think she'll keep it the same. Also, didn't PG pick Brittany? So maybe Brittany would be working with PG as well. Tyson's probably hoping for Keanu here. So 3rd place is Abby Maria. Then Keanu. So that means Brittany. Who would have saw that one coming? So Brittany wins the power of veto. Brittany, I'm guessing, is going to decide not to use it. Let's see. Does not use the power of veto. So the final nominees are Tyson and Carolyn. It's a bummer. It's a bummer. All right. Abby holds a house meeting to apologize for her behavior in the house. It is well received. That tracks. That actually really does track. Kelly earns extra money for the week. Budget in a task. Kelly earns extra money for this week's budget in a task. Interesting. PG flips the mattress of the bed of Kelly. Okay. Very interesting. And that's a bold move as head of household, too. Tyson opens up to Owen by sharing a personal story. That I could see. Tyson doing. PG invents a new game. That also tracks. The house is thrilled to have something new to do. Like, PG's such a gamer that she's inventing games in the house. Derek tells a heartfelt story and why he needs the money. I'm not a cop, I swear. Tyson and Carolyn face eviction. The speeches, they give their speeches on why they should stay. Show the vote. All right, here we go. So Abby votes Carolyn. Brittany votes Tyson. Interesting. Davon votes Tyson. Dan votes Tyson. Oh, no, it's not looking good for Tyson. Danielle votes Tyson. Davey votes Carolyn, which kind of tracks because he's in alliance with Abby. So is that alliance on the out? Derek votes Tyson. Earl votes Tyson, which is weird. He's not going with his group. Jatia votes Tyson. Tyson's a goner. Keanu votes Carolyn. Once again, Keanu is out of a vote. Kelly votes Tyson. Owen votes Carolyn. Paul votes Carolyn. Rachel votes Carolyn. Rob C. votes Tyson. Way to turn your back on your buddy there, Rob. And then Vanessa votes Carolyn. I think Tyson is a goner. By a vote of 9-7, Tyson has been voted out of eliminated from, or voted out of Big Brother. Yeah, there we go. PG and Abby, Carolyn, and Danielle makes sense because you usually bond with the people you play before. Yeah, it's just so funny because they've been so, they had such heated moments on their previous cast together that it makes me laugh that the simulation formed them together. Maybe PG was looking for an idol under the bed. Maybe. All right, so Tyson is gone. Xavier is gone. Alliance strength is still the same. We still have Carolyn and Danielle at the top. We still have Abby, Maria, and Earl there. Those 3, those 4. Yeah, so that's everything's the same. All right, by the numbers. The house guests stand in the backyard answering questions about the players remaining in the game. The answer to each question will be a number between 0 and 9. Players are eliminated by answering questions incorrectly. The last player remaining wins head of household. Earl knows where the votes lie. Yeah, Earl's throwing. Earl's throwing for sure, right? Davey finishes last. Jatia, then Derek, blah, blah, blah. We can get all the way down to the final 3. So once again, Paul is in the final 3 for head of household. I believe that's where he was last time. And Brittany, competition beast Brittany, is hot off the veto win, now in the final 3 for HOH. And then we got Owen. So let's see. 3rd place is Owen. Second place is Brittany. We have Paul. Paul's a wild card. Paul doesn't show us anything yet, so he hasn't showed us who is he's working with. Nothing. So we're gonna. Do you want me to do the keys, or do you want me to just go to the nominees? Because I feel like the keys just take a lot of time with this many people. I'm just gonna go to the nominees. If you guys want me to do keys for the next vote, we can do that. He has voted Rob C and Dan. Wow, bold move, going after two of the goats in the house, but we don't know where their allegiance lies. So, yeah, Earl in the best position of the Lions. I agree. But what happened? So Rob's draw is, oh, sorry, not Rob. Paul's draw is house guest choice. We 3 weeks in a row of seeing the HOH pull house guest choice, and he picks Kelly. So I wonder if they have some kind of relationship there. Then we got Rob picking Abby Maria, and Dan draws Vanessa. All right, so we've got our people. So Paul finishes last, Dan in fifth, Rob in fourth. Once again, the two nominees finish in fifth and fourth. Then we have Abby Maria, Kelly, and Vanessa. So let's see here. Who is going to be the winner? So Abby's third. We got Kelly in second, and the winner is going to be Vanessa, who wins the Golden Power of Veto. Now, I'm not sure what Vanessa will do. We haven't seen any relationship with her in the stream. If you guys are here, say what's up in the comments. Love to have you guys here and chatting with us. We appreciate you. Give us a follow, twitch.tv/Bobby Goodsby or at After Show on YouTube. All right, so let's see Vanessa's decision. Does she use the power of veto on either Rob or Dan? She does not use the power veto. We are going to lose one of the big heavy hitters here. All right, so here's the house events. Abby makes an effort to improve relationships in the house. But Abby's like set up. She's got so many alliances. How does she need to keep improving relationships? PG, once again, causing drama, finds Shatia creepy and tells the other house guests. PG breaks down and threatens to quit. My God, PG is all over the board. She has all these alliances, but then she's flipping mattresses. She's saying people are creepy, and now she wants to leave the house. What is going on? All right, Rob and Dan face eviction. They give speeches on why, and this is the votes. All right, so Abby votes Rob C. Brittany votes Rob C. Carolyn votes Dan. Devon voting Rob. Danielle voting Rob. Davey voting Dan. Derek votes Dan, probably because he's threatened. We got Earl voting Rob. And then we've got Jatia voting Rob. Keanu voting Rob. Kelly voting Rob. Owen voting Dan. PG votes for Dan. Rachel voting Rob. And Vanessa voting Rob. So I think that does it for Rob C. Yep, by a vote of 10-5, Rob has been voted out of the Big Brother house. Vanessa does make the correct choice. I agree. I think that is a strong way to go about it. Eliminate one of the threats and be gone. All right, so we have now lost Xavier, Tyson, and Rob. Man, the fans would be furious if that's the three that we lost. Well, especially these two. Like, let's be real. The fans would be like, this season sucks. All right. So now we go to the loyalty chart again for the alliances. And once again, Carolyn and Danielle sitting at the top. Strongest alliance in the house. Hilarious because of their time on the Traitors. Abby and Earl. Then we got Davey, Earl, and PG. Abby, Davey, Earl, and PG. I mean, Earl's in a great spot. He's in a great spot. And then we got a new alliance forming. We've got, and it's a loyalty of 9. So this is a big one. Abby's kind of turning on her people, but she's going Abby, Kelly, Vanessa. We like it. We love to see that alliance. All right, so Big Brother Disco. The house guests each hang from disco balls. If they fall, they are eliminated. The last house guest remaining on their disco ball is the new head household. All right, so let's get down to the bottom. The final 3 are Danielle Reyes, Derek, and Brittany. Brittany is just a beast. Like, Brittany is killing it in these competitions, man. Like, Brittany would be very proud of herself right now. All right, so In third place, we have Brittany. Always a bridesmaid, never the bride. Come on, Brittany. Then Derek. Oh, so Danielle. So that would mean Carolyn's got to be feeling pretty safe this week because they have a very strong alliance. Abby, Kelly, Vanessa are the new witches. Yep, the new witches alliance. I love it. I love it. All right, I'll show the keys for this round since I didn't show it the last two. All right, so key number 1, Keanu, you are safe. Brittany, you are safe. Derek, you are safe. Vanessa, you are safe. Kelly is safe. Rachel is safe. Abby is safe. Earl is safe. Paul is safe. Where is Carolyn? Davey is safe. Dan is safe. Owen is safe. My Lord, did she nominate her biggest ally? There's no way. It's got to be right here. Yeah, Carolyn, you are safe. Saved her for last so it doesn't show people that they're working together. Smart move. Smart move. All right. The nominees are Davon and Jatia. No. You know, Jatia was like bothering people, right? Didn't they say that like PG was saying that she like doesn't like her and that she's like creepy or something like that? So maybe it's getting to the house and it's just a consensus target. So I would assume Jatia's in trouble here. All right, so Danielle draws house guest choice. 4 weeks in a row of the house guest choice getting picked by the head of household. She chooses Abby, not picking Carolyn. Very interesting. Davon gets Owen, and Jatia draws Rachel. All right, so after Happy Zing Day, after being zinged by the Zingbot early in the season, the house guests enter the backyard for baby Zingbot's first birthday. They must roll their Zingtonium balls back and forth on a ramp. The first house guest to roll in 250 times will win the power veto. Abby finishes last. Yeah, she's like, I'm not doing this 250 times. Devon finishes 5th. Danielle finishes 4th. Now we know Jatia probably needs it here. She's probably the consensus house target. So let's see. It comes down to Owen, Jatia, and Rachel. Who pulls it out? In third is Owen. So it really comes down to this. Does Jatia save herself from the block? She does. Wow. Jatia has won the power veto. All right. So Jatia uses the power veto on herself. And let's see. Who do we think the replacement will be? Well, we know it's not going to be Carolyn. Otherwise, we don't know too much. Maybe she takes a shot at one of the Survivor players here as a replacement nominee. Let's see. Davey is the replacement. Ooh, so Davey's got the number. So, you know, he's been in a pretty good spot with his alliance. So unless they're on to that alliance and they figured it out, but Davon might be in trouble here. All right, PG and Danielle bond slightly. And PG's working with Davey, so that might be a good thing for Davey. How many first birthdays you can have, right? Exactly. After borrowing an item from Kelly, Keanu accidentally breaks it. Danielle opens up to Derek by sharing a personal story. Derek's in a lot of these like personal conversations, so we don't see him working with anyone, but he's like bonding with people. Another mattress flip. Davey flips the mattress of the bed of Vanessa. What is with everyone flipping mattresses? Also, Davey, not a good look when you're one of the ones who's on the block. While having a conversation, PG accidentally makes an inappropriate comment. Like, PG is crumbling right now. Like, PG is spiraling out of control. This alliance might be in some trouble. Davon and Davey face eviction. They give speeches as to why. Those people can talk, right? Yeah, seriously. All right, so here's the votes. Abby votes for Davon. That tracks because she's working with Davey. Brittany votes for Davey. Carolyn votes for Davey. Oh, no. Well, she's going with her alliance, so that makes sense. Dan votes for Davey. Derek votes with Davon. Now, he did bond with Danielle, so that might be why. Earl votes for Davon because he's working with Davey. Jatia votes for Davon. Keanu votes for Davey. It's a close vote so far. Kelly votes for Davey. Oh, gosh, Davey might be in trouble. Owen votes for Davon, keeping his Survivor Alliance strong. Paul votes for Davon. PG votes for Davon. It's going to be a close vote. Rachel votes for Davey. And Vanessa votes for Davey. I don't even know. Let's see. It's going to be a close one. Come on. Proceed. There we go. 7-7. Oh, no. Danielle is going to have to break the tie. I kind of thought it was a tie there for a second. Davon or Davey is going. Who does Danielle break the tie on? I'm going to guess she goes after Davon. Let's see. Yep. Danielle, as HOH, votes to evict Davon. And I think that's because of some of the talk she had with him. But didn't Carolyn vote for Davey? So they're not on the same page there as a strong alliance. All right, Davon has been evicted. All right, so now we proceed. All right, so they're still at the top, still going strong, but I'm pretty sure they voted an opposite way. So that's kind of strange. We'll see how that tracks. Then we got Abby, Maria, and Cole still, Earl Cole still at the top. Davey, Earl, PG, everything's the same. Everything's the same, but we still don't know where a lot of people lie in this house. All right, so caught in a web. The house guests hang on top of an enormous spider web. The last house guest remaining becomes a new head of household. Kelly finishes last, blah, blah, blah. We get down to the final three, and it comes down to Vanessa, who's been doing well in these competitions, Earl, and Abby. So this is big. Two people from the same alliance are on here, and Vanessa's got a strong alliance with Abby, too. So all three of these people are going to probably be on the same page. Some of these people that we haven't seen alliances form yet might be in trouble. So third place is Earl. All right, so that ladies' alliance, Kelly Wentworth's got to be safe here probably. All right, and we have Abby as the winner of the head of household. All right, so she's got a lot of hands in a lot of different pots. So let's see how this plays out. You guys want me to show the keys or not? I don't know if the keys are boring. We should just get to the nominees, or what you guys want me to do. Let me know in the comments. I'm going to skip it because I think I'm a little ahead of you guys. But let me know if you want to see the keys going forward or just go straight to nominees. All right. She nominates Abby and, Carolyn and Derek. All right. So maybe they're on to Danielle's alliance. Who knows? And Derek, he's been bonding with everyone in the house. So that's kind of surprising to see Derek up there. But he might just be an easy pawn to get rid of Carolyn. Okay, we can skip the keys. Cool. All right, so Abby's draw is house guest choice for the 5th week in a row. The head of household gets house guest choice. She chooses PG. That tracks. Carolyn's draw is going to probably... Oh, yeah, Keanu. And then Derek takes Brittany. All right, so let's proceed. Otev, the sweet tooth shark. We got Otev and we got Otev and Zingbot early in the season. The house guests walk out to find a large shark at the top of a hill. They will climb up and sit in front of him, listen to Clue, and run into the field to find the pie with the name blah, blah, blah. We get it. PG finishes last. Brittany finishes 5th. Abby 4th. Competition comes down to Keanu, Derek, and Carolyn. Well, Derek and Carolyn both need to save themselves, so let's see who gets it. Keanu's in 3rd, so one of these two nominees is going to be able to save themselves. All right. 2nd is Derek, so Carolyn is going to be able to save herself and come off the block. Let's go. Carolyn obviously going to use it on herself. All right. Abby's replacement is... Ooh, Keanu. He's too much of a competition threat. Might be annoying people in the house, too. All right. Keanu makes an effort to improve relationships in the house, but is it too little too late? Owen breaks down and threatens to quit. While having a conversation, Abby accidentally makes an inappropriate comment. We're seeing a lot of people do the same things. Earl irrationally lashes out at Kelly. Interesting. So I got to remember all these things because I'm from things in the past where we get these house events. a lot of like flipping mattresses and stuff, but it's hard to remember who's up against who. All right, Keanu and Derek face eviction. They give speeches about why they should stay. The house guests vote. All right, here comes the vote. Brittany votes Derek. Carolyn votes Keanu. Dan votes Derek. Danielle votes Keanu. Davey votes Derek. Earl votes Derek. Jatia votes Derek. Oh, Derek. Kelly votes Keanu. Owen votes Derek. Paul votes Derek. PG votes Derek. Derek's a goner. Rachel votes Derek. And Vanessa votes Keanu. So the only votes against Keanu are Vanessa, Kelly, who are working together, Danielle, who's working with Carolyn, and then Carolyn, who votes that way as well. Interesting that Kelly and Vanessa, who are working with Abby Maria, go against her here. That's very interesting. By a vote of 9-4, Derek is a goner. So we have some drama. No blockbuster to save Keanu, exactly. He's as crazy as she is. All right, so we're losing some heavy hitters here, man. We're losing a lot. Like, what is it? So 1 Survivor winner, 2 Big Brother winners, and some legends in Davon and Rob. Like, we are losing some big names. So let's proceed. Owen finally in the correct vote, right? Exactly. All right, Carolyn and Danielle still strong. We saw them vote together last round. Abby and Earl are still strong. It's shocking to me that their loyalty level is 9, but they both voted against Abby there, like against what her wishes were. Or maybe maybe she wanted that and it was just a pawn type of situation. Who knows? All right, so we got a new alliance. Alliance dissolves. Is that what it says? Yeah, so, well, it's the same thing. Alliance number 2 dissolves. So are they not working together anymore, but they're still working together here? I'm confused by that. It still says loyalty 7. Who knows? We'll find out. All right. The house guests enter the Broadway-themed backyard to see 2 podiums. Each round, 2 house guests will face off and will hear a song about one of the past competitions will be played. The first house guest to correctly buzz in with the correct competition type will move on and must choose the next 2 to face off. While the other house guest is eliminated, the last house guest remaining becomes the new head of household. All right, so it comes down to PG, who has been a train wreck all season, but has a lot of alliances, Owen, and Dan, who we saw on the block recently. So let's see. Third place is PG, and I think Dan needs us here. Dan, no, second place. So Owen gets some power. Owen finally getting some kind of power to possibly make some moves in this house, unlike what we saw on Survivor. Maybe they split the vote. This is Rachel's comp. Yeah. All right, so we don't need to see the keys. So the nominees are Rachel and Dan. I told you Dan needed to win there. He has had his back against the wall. He's been a nominee. He almost went home. So then we see Rachel up there. Rachel, we haven't seen much of anything as far as alliances go. So let's see. If you guys are here, we've got like 9 or 10 people watching live. Guys, say what's up in the chat. We'd love to have you guys be here, and thank you for watching. And let's all chat together and go through this. This is a little fun simulation. All right, show Owen's draw. First time the HOH has not gotten house guest choice, so that's interesting. Owen draws Vanessa. Rachel draws Davey. And Dan gets Abby Maria. So here's 2 that probably won't use it because they're working together. And they probably just figure, wait, we don't mind these nominees. Let's not use it. So I don't know. Rachel and Dan might be in some trouble here. What's up, Kate the Great? Appreciate you being here. Mary, as always. They're going to after the winners. Exactly. It's like they're going after the heavy hitters. All right. So veto selections. I already went through that. My bad. Oh, so wait. So Dan's house guest choice was Abby Maria. That's interesting. The house guests enter the backyard to see 6 colored balance beams on one end and is a vat of gumballs. On the other end, my mouth is like not wanting to talk, is the outline of a veto symbol. The first house guest to transfer enough chewed gum from one end to the other to outline the veto symbol will win the power veto. Vanessa finishes last. Not a big gumball. Not a big gumball person. Rachel finishes 5th. Owen 4th. Dan needs this here. And he's got Abby, who we chose. So maybe they are working together and we just haven't seen it. Let's see. So Abby gets 3rd. Davey gets 2nd. And Dan, 3 weeks in a row, the nominee wins the veto. So Dan's going to save himself. Let's go, Dan. Rachel's in some trouble here. All right, so he used it on himself, and the replacement is Brittany. No! Oh, no. We got Brittany versus Rachel. Man, they are taking out the heavy hitters one by one. Another former winner possibly going home. All the former winners are getting axed here. It's not good. PG breaks down and threatens to quit again. Just do it. Can they quit in the simulation? I don't even know. Davey attempts to blame and call out Jatia for certain actions in the house and how Jatia deserves to leave. Man, everyone is against Jatia, but somehow she didn't get nominated. Yeah, people want Jatia out. Rachel and Earl bond extremely well. Kelly invents a new game. The house is thrilled to have something new to do. All right, let's see who's in trouble here. We've really seen nothing from Brittany. The fastest chewer, exactly. They give speeches on why they should stay. The house guests vote. Abby's vote is Brittany. Carolyn votes Rachel. Dan votes Brittany. Danielle votes Rachel. That tracks. She's with Carolyn. Davey votes Brittany. Brittany might be in trouble here. Earl votes Brittany. Jatia votes Brittany. Keanu votes Rachel. That tracks. We all saw that coming. Still doesn't trust Rachel. No, they can quit. Okay, all right. The BB Legends are flopping. Yes, they are. Show Kelly's. Kelly's votes Brittany. Paul votes Rachel. PG votes Brittany. That alliance is all sticking strong. And Vanessa, this is probably Brittany. Yep, it is. All right. So by a vote of 8-4, Brittany Haynes is gone. And the the diary room is sad. Live feed's been down for 24 hours. I'm about to crash out. It's looking like, to be honest with you, from what we've heard, it's looking like they're going to be out till probably after Sunday. Because from what we've gathered from information is that last night they had a competition. The rumor is that Ava won some kind of power and someone was eliminated last night. So by all accounts, we think someone is in jury right now and they're not giving us that until probably the episode. So that's just the theory right now. Nothing's confirmed. It's just a theory. So with that, we were like, well, we got no feeds to watch, so let's have some fun and do our Survivor vs. Big Brother simulation. All right. Next. Once again, the alliances strong are Carolyn and Danielle. They've been at the top for the entire game. Brittany over Rachel. Come on. Brittany is not a threat. Maybe bonding with Earl saved her. That's what I think. I think bonding with Earl was, and that's a normal thing for her. Is she finds ways to bond with people. Tuesday? Oh, wait. Do we not have a episode on Sunday? Oh, no. There's no way we don't get it till Tuesday then. Oh, geez. Well, we'll find out. Like I said, that's just a rumor right now that someone went home, and that's why they're not showing us the feed. So we'll find out. But, gosh, if we had to wait till Tuesday, that'd be awful. All right, Davey and Earl and PG, same. Abby, Davey, Earl, and PG, same. That alliance, same. So PG leaves Alliance 6. So she is no longer a part of this connection, but she's still part of this connection. I don't know. Very hard to understand why she would leave that, but she's still working with the other two. No feeds until Wednesday. Game theory. Yeah, that's our thought right now. But that'd be so ridiculous to do a whole week and nothing. Oh, it sucks. That would suck. All right, the house guests stand on a long rotating log holding onto a bull's head attached to a rope. If they fall or let it go, they are eliminated, and the bull will swing down and smash their china-filled china cabinet. The last house guest standing will become the first head of household. In addition, the first 3 house guests to fall can open a box. Ooh, so Earl, Carolyn, and Vanessa are going to be opening a box. I don't know why I said first head of household. So comes down to Davey, PG, and Paul. Man, this alliance is just doing really well in these challenges. Paul is up there too. All right, third place is Davey. Second place is PG. So we got Paul as our new head of household. Now, this is what, Paul's second head of household, if I'm remembering correctly. All right, so let's go to the nominees. The nominees are Dan and Earl. Okay, so this is interesting. Once again, Jatia is not on the block, even though people in the house don't like her. And then Dan, who's a constant like block nom, maybe just the house consensus, like, hey, we're gonna put you up there as a pawn. I'm not quite sure. And then Earl, maybe Paul's starting to figure out that Earl is a big part of this game, and it's time to start making the moves against that side of the house. So let's see. All right, so Paul's draw is Vanessa. Earl draws Danielle. And Dan draws Jatia. All right, let's proceed. Jatia finishing last. Paul in 5th. Dan in 4th. Okay, so we got Danielle, Vanessa, and Earl. Let's see, does Earl save himself? Do we get 3, or was it 4 weeks in a row now of the nominee saving themselves? No. Vanessa winning another competition. Will she use it on either Dan or Earl, or is she going to leave the nominations the same? She does not use the power of veto. Wow, Paul really making moves. Only 2 knobs, no BB Blockbuster. Yeah, we set it to, like, maybe I should have done it better. I set it to Big Brother 27, but I think I set, like, the format is Big Brother, like, OG. So no Blockbuster. Maybe one of these times we'll rerun it with the Blockbuster simulation. But I thought I did it for 27, but apparently I didn't. So that's on me. But we got the cast, and whatever. It's still fun to see what happens. All right, so house events. Due to mental stress of the game, Owen isolates himself from the rest of the house. Once again, he's going into panic mode. Jatia and Owen bond extremely well. That tracks because it seems like these two are on the outs of the entire house. So that tracks. PG breaks down and threatens to quit. This is like 4 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks now that PG's either flipped a mattress or is willing to quit. Just do it. All right. Kelly makes an effort to improve relationships in the house. Proceed. There it goes. Earl and Dan face eviction. They give speeches about why they should stay. The house gets vote. All right, here we go. Who we think's going? Dave. Earl or Dan? All right. Abby votes Dan. That's interesting. She is working with Earl, so that does track. Carolyn votes Dan. Dan might be in trouble here. Obviously, those two are going to vote together. Davey's going to vote with them as well. Jatia votes Earl. They had a conflict, like they had a fight, so that makes sense. Keanu votes Dan. I think Dan's in some trouble. Kelly votes to evict Earl. Owen going against his like little thing with Jatia, going on Dan. PG voting for Dan. Rachel voting for Dan. Dan's a goner. The big hitters are dropping by a vote of 9-2, because that just shows how good Earl was in this house with all of his alliances. Dan, the consensus pawn for the last few weeks, is finally gone. Wow. So we have lost Brittany Haynes, Davon, Dan, Derek, Rob, Tyson, and Xavier. A lot of heavy hitters gone. Paul has won 2 HOHs. Has anyone else won 2 of anything? Yeah, Vanessa's won 2 POVs. So those two are looking pretty good. Vanessa should not use it. It should be Dan going. All right, so Carolyn and Danielle still at the top. Davey, Earl, and PG still doing good together. Now, Abby Maria is no longer aligned with PG, which is interesting. Davy and Earl staying strong. They still have two very good alliances going. Abby Maria, though, working her magic with the girls' alliance as well. And let's see here. Oh, no. Alliance number 1 has dissolved. They've been voting together. We haven't seen anything happen. But, yeah, it looks like Carolyn and Danielle back to their old ways when they were playing the Traitors, where they worked together at first, and then they decide this isn't going to work. Proceed. There we go. All right. House guest soup. The house guests must sit in a bathtub filled with water at predetermined intervals. Buckets filled with various disgusting items will be dumped into the tub. The last house guest sitting in the tub will become the new HOH. All right, we can scroll down to the final 3. Comes down to Kelly, Keanu, and Abby. In third place is Kelly. Now, Abby's got a lot of alliances, so let's see. Yep, Abby does it. Abby is your new head of household. So we're going to have probably another straightforward week. I would think Rachel's in some trouble. Maybe Jatia and Owen. Those would be the 3 I would think are possibly in the most trouble. Keanu, too. All right, so Owen is there, but Carolyn is put up on the block. Maybe using that breakup of Danielle and Carolyn, who's now possibly on her own, maybe using that against her. So let's see what happens. Abby draws Davy, which house guest choice, that makes sense. She's got a very strong alliance with Davy. Carolyn draws Danielle, which, interesting. Well, it wasn't house guest choice, but she chose Danielle. Too bad they broke up their alliance. And Owen gets Paul. Can Paul win another competition? Well, it comes down to Owens finishes last, Davy finishes 5th, and Danielle finishes 4th. It's a haunted yard one. And we got Carolyn, Paul, and Abby. So Carolyn needs this, but Paul might shake things up. Let's see. Paul gets 3rd. It comes down to the head of household and her nominee. Who's going to win it? Oh, Abby, 2 wins. What a week for Abby. What a week. She got POV and HOH. She has all the power this week and gets to decide who is going home. Or who's staying on the block, I guess you should say. Carolyn and Owen, she's not going to use it. Yep, they stay on the block. They are the final nominees for the week. A banner flies over the backyard reading, Abby is not to be trusted. I love this simulation so much. Because that would probably happen. And Abby has a lot of hands in a lot of different pots. So, had a great week, and then the banner coming over the house is a little difficult for Abby. Carolyn and Owen face eviction. They give speeches as to why. The house guests vote. Danielle staying true, even though they aren't an alliance anymore, she's staying true to Carolyn. Davey votes to evict Owen. I think Owen might be a goner. Earl not going with his boy Davey and goes Carolyn instead. Jatia's going to go Carolyn. Oh, no. Keanu voting Carolyn. Kelly voting Owen. Okay. Paul voting Owen. PG voting Owen. Rachel voting Owen. And Vanessa voting Owen. So the 3 girls stuck together, but Earl over here casting a rogue vote on Carolyn, not going with his alliance mates. We still see Jatia and Keanu on the outs. Everyone else is on the right side of the vote, but that is interesting. I wonder if it was like a hinky vote or something. So Carolyn and Owen, the eviction votes are in 7-3. I'm sorry, Owen, you have been evicted from the Big Brother house. All right, so we lost Owen. Let's proceed. So, our alliances. Getting down to the nitty-gritty. We haven't seen much shakeup. We've seen a lot of people leaving alliances, but no new alliances. So, Davey, Earl, and PG. Abby, Davey, and Earl. And Abby, Kelly, and Vanessa. So, we did see Earl not vote with this group, going possibly against the head of household's wishes. Will this stay strong? I mean, these two have their way in the house, and Abby's in a good spot. She really is. All right, so Danielle finishes last. It's delivering the goods. Each house guest stands at a buzzer across from a giant pit of packing pits. Julie Chin will ask a question with the answer being the names of 2 different house guests. The first house guest to retrieve 2 letters with the names of the correct house guests on them will become the head of household. Go down to the final 3. Davey, once again, man, like that alliance is doing really well in these competitions. Same with Vanessa. Vanessa's been killing it. And Jatia, the wild card. Jatia being the wild card, what does she do? Let's see. I kind of want to see a Jatia. It's like almost like a Keanu from this season. Like, what would Jatia do? Let's see. Like, it's a wild card. All right, so in 3rd place. No, I wanted to see it. All right, so one of the 2 alliances is going to stay strong. Abby's looking pretty good here. All right, so Davey finishes 2nd, and Vanessa with another competition win. She is killing these competitions, which tracks. All right, so show the nominees. The nominees are, Vanessa has nominated Davey and Earl. People are on to them. And it sucks for Abby. She's kind of stuck in the middle because she's working with both these guys and Vanessa. So what happens there? Let's see what happens. This is rough. Man, they were running this house, and now they are on the block against each other. House guest choice, she takes Kelly. That tracks. Davey gets Abby, which is actually huge for them. That's huge for them. But Abby almost wants to throw this competition. She doesn't want to be in the mix of the 2 alliances here. And then Earl gets Danielle. All right. Laser Labyrinth, 1 at a time. The house guests enter the backyard to find rows of photos. Blah, blah, blah. We all know this one. All right. Danielle finishes last. Kelly finishes 5th. Vanessa finishes 4th. Interesting. We got the 2 nominees, and then we got someone that they're working with here. But does Abby want to show her cards? Because she's working with Vanessa and Kelly. She should want to throw this for sure and let one of them win and take themselves off. 3rd place is Davey. Does Abby win this competition and totally blow up her spot in the game? Nope, she doesn't. She throws it at the last second, making it look like she was competing, but then just loses at the last second. So Earl is going to be able to take himself off the block with the power of veto, which is huge. Davey's got to be happy about that too. Even though he'd rather it be him, at least Earl's coming down. Who's the Vanessa's replacement? Let's see. Paul, who's been one of the strong players all season. She's possible Paul backdoor here. Davey has the numbers. He has a lot of people he's been working with. So, yeah, they could run it forever. I think so, too. So, let's see. All right. House events. Keanu attempts to blame and call out Davey for certain actions in the house and how Davey deserves to leave. Paul tells a heartfelt story about why he needs the money. So, let's see. Does Paul's actions be able to save him, or does Davey's alliances come through for him? Show the votes. Abby votes to evict Paul. That makes sense. Carolyn votes to evict Davey. That tracks as well because maybe they feel threatened. Danielle votes to evict Paul. Earl voting to evict Davey? What? That relationship is done for. Earl, back-to-back weeks, just throwing weird votes out there. Maybe he's just tired of working with him, or maybe he wants Abby and PG to himself. All right, Jatia voting to evict Davey. Keanu votes Davey. Kelly votes Davey. Oh, no. PG votes Davey. PG and Earl turning their back on poor Davey. And Rachel votes Davey. Davey has gone. So the only 2 votes to save Davey were Abby Maria, who he was working with, and Danielle. So, wow. Way to turn your back on your ally. Earl playing a cutthroat game. She saw Earl and let him win. Vanessa making moves. Yes, she is. All right, so Earl is a goner. So next we have, let me pull this up real quick. All right, so let's go over competition wins real quick. So we have Abby with 2 HOHs and a POV. We have the other big ones are Paul with 2 HOHs, and then Vanessa with 2 power vetoes and 1 HOH. So very, very interesting. All right, there we go. So let's proceed. Let's see what's going to happen with alliances now. So Earl's still good with PG and Abby in 2 separate alliances, and Abby still has the girls. We're not seeing any other alliances form here. A lot of people not really playing. All right, so walk the plank. The house guests stand on planks protruding from a large pirate ship. If they fall, they are eliminated. The last house guest standing on their plank will become the new head of household. Another big thing about this week is after this week, we've made it to jury in his fashion bitch on trouble. Yeah. So after this is the last person eliminated before jury. So we got Earl finishing last all the way down to Keanu, Rachel, and Carolyn. All right, we might see some shakeup here. These 3, we don't really... Well, Carolyn, we know where she kind of lied, staying with Danielle, but these 3 could be very interesting. Rachel finishes 3rd. Carolyn in 2nd, and our boy Keanu wins, just like he did this week, where he won right before jury. He won head of household. He does it again right before jury. Final 11. All right, so jury starts at 9. Starts at 9. Oh, wait, so am I wrong? Maybe, no, you're right. I think maybe last week was the jury, right? Because I'm forgetting the two final people. So you're right. I think jury started last week then. All right, so show the nominees. All right, so we've got Keanu begins the nomination ceremony and has nominated Carolyn and PG. Oh, it sucks for Carolyn. She was so close to winning HOH, and now she's up there. All right, and PG's been going a little crazy. Maybe people are like, finally, we'll give you your wish. You want to leave? Here you go. All right, Keanu's draw for POV participation. He gets Paul. Carolyn gets house guest choice and chooses Kelly. Kelly's been drawn a lot for house guest choice. And PG chooses Vanessa. So let's see. All right. Ice veto. Each house guest has a block of ice with a POV symbol at its center. Using a super soaker gun, each house guest must attempt to melt their ice enough so they can reach the power veto symbol. Each house guests also unlock a T symbol, which they can trade for a toolbox containing various helpful tools or items. The first house guest to reach their veto symbol and press the buzzer will win the power veto. Vanessa probably throwing it here. Probably doesn't want any more heat because she has been winning a lot of competitions. Then Keanu in 5th, Kelly in 4th. Finally, it comes down to Paul, PG, and Carolyn, which is very interesting. Wait, why am I blanking? Who's head of household right now? Oh, it's Keanu. And he nominated PG and Carolyn. So we got 2 of the nominees up here. Someone who's just a nominee last round. So let's see. In 3rd place, we got Paul. So another time, one of the people are going to take themselves off. Oh, PG is able to save herself. PG is going to take herself off the block, and she does. Keanu's replacement is going to be Vanessa. Oh, Vanessa is very interesting because Vanessa does have Kelly and Abby, and Abby's working with Earl. So does she have the numbers to stay regardless? Carolyn, we only know had the relationship with Danielle, but that's kind of fizzled out. Love an ice challenge. I do too. They didn't bring the ice challenge back. I agree with you. All right, let's proceed. The ego of Carolyn is rubbing the house the wrong way. Yeah, Carolyn might be in trouble here. Paul and Vanessa bond extremely well. Abby and Vanessa bond slightly. Abby opens up to PG by sharing a personal story. So Vanessa doing a lot of work here, but is it enough? Do they see her as too big of a threat that they need to take that competition threat out of the game? All right, here we go. Here's the votes. Abby's vote is Carolyn. Danielle's vote is Vanessa, which makes sense. Earl votes Carolyn. Abby was able to get to Earl and be like, you can't go after my girl, Vanessa. She's with us. Jatia votes Vanessa. She has no ties to Vanessa, so it makes sense. Kelly, her girl Kelly. We are seeing alliances crumble before our eyes. Kelly votes Vanessa. Maybe taking her shot now while she can. Paul votes to evict Vanessa. Carolyn. Oh, sorry. PG votes to evict Carolyn. So it's now a 3-4. Got Vanessa needs Rachel's vote here. Does she get it? She does. All right. We got another tie, folks. We got another tie. So the votes were Abby votes Carolyn, Earl votes Carolyn, PG votes Carolyn, Rachel votes Carolyn. And we got Danielle voting Vanessa, Jatia voting Vanessa, Kelly voting Vanessa, and Paul voting Vanessa. Vanessa has been betrayed by Kelly. All right, so what does our head of household do? Keanu votes to evict Vanessa. The threat is gone. The threat is gone. All right, Vanessa, you had such a good run. And then once again, it all falls apart at the end. One of the big front runners to win the whole thing is now a goner. Wow. So we are down to our final what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that was the start of the jury phase. It was this last week. So here we go. So we're down to only a few alliances. We got Earl with PG, Abby Maria with Earl, and Abby Maria with Kelly Whitworth. But maybe her ties to Kelly are strained because she voted out their girl, Vanessa. All right, pressure cooker, the competition we all want. Bring back the pressure cooker every season, please. It gives us something to watch on the live feeds. Come on. House guests must stand in a glass box while holding their finger on a button. If they let go or try to kneel or sit, they are eliminated. The last house guest standing will become the new head of household. In addition, when a house guest is eliminated, they can open a chest and try to earn a prize, which they don't give us like the prize winners on this stuff too. All right, so wow, once again, Paul, Abby, and PG are all in the final 3. So let's see. PG goes out third. Is it going to be Paul again? No, it's Abby again. Abby is a competition beast right now. Abby might be a front runner, guys, which is shocking. All right, let's see the nominees. She's going after Paul and Carolyn. Okay, she doesn't have ties with either of them. She's been trying to come after both of them for a while now, so that makes sense. So proceed. All right, Abby's draw is house guest choice, and she chooses Rachel, which we haven't seen a relationship there, so that's interesting. Carolyn draws Kelly, and Paul draws PG. Not a good draw for Paul here, I feel like. All right, so Two-Face, the house guests individually enter the backyard where they are shown various faces composed of 2 house guests. They must decide which 2 house guests make up. I remember this. They didn't bring this competition back, too. I liked this one. All right, Kelly finishes last. Rachel's 5th. Carolyn 4th. Does Paul save himself? This was the final 3 we had for the HOH competition. Now they're the final 3 for the Power of Veto. These 3 are very strong competitors. Paul needs this, I feel like. In 3rd place is PG. So it comes down to the final 2 that were there for HOH. Now they're fighting for head of household. Who wins? Oh, man, Abby is just on fire right now. Abby is on absolute fire right now. All right, so let's proceed. All right, Abby's clearly not going to use the power of veto. Oh, what? Abby is taking down Paul. What? What is going on in this simulation? Abby using the power of veto on Paul after she nominated Paul. What is going on there? Keanu, the back door, with the backdoor possibility. All right. A banner flies over the backyard reading, Abby is not to be trusted. Twice in one season, we have Abby getting banner gated. Jatia opens up to Abby sharing a personal story. Wow. All right, let's see the vote. Keanu might be in trouble. Maybe Carolyn's just a a pawn, an easy pawn. He let her win too. Maybe that's the case, but that is wild to me. All right, show Danielle's vote. Danielle votes Carolyn. Wow, that relationship really crumbled. Really crumbled. Earl votes Carolyn. Okay, maybe Carolyn's a goner. Maybe it's going to be consensus. Looks like it. Maybe the back door was the plan after all. Wow. Unanimous vote. Our first one all season. Wow, Keanu is gone. They had to get rid of the physical threat. Carolyn just on the block constantly, but surviving. Maybe not in a good spot in this house. All right, 7-0. Keanu is gone. Or, sorry. Wait. I'm stupid. I am so sorry, guys. I was thinking Keanu because I was seeing her picture, but no. Carolyn was the house target. My bad. I apologize, guys. I apologize. I was totally seeing the picture thinking differently. Keanu is safe, so maybe no one sees Keanu as a threat. And Carolyn is gone. Maybe she had too many ties in this house. My brain was not working there. That was wild. All right. So let's move along. So Carolyn is gone. Yeah. So we got Abby with 3 HOH wins and 2 POV wins. Big threat here in this house. Maybe it's time to get rid of her. Will people turn on her? She does have alliances in the house. Danielle with 1. Keanu with an HOH and a POV. And then we've got Rachel with nothing. Paul has 2 HOH wins and has been on the block multiple times. PG has an HOH and a POV. And then the other 2 each have 1 POV to themselves. So let's proceed. We all dream of the day Keanu goes home. I mean, clearly he's not a threat if he's, staying unanimously. All right. Oh, no, we lost another alliance. So Earl and PG's alliance is crumbled. It's gone. Abby really running the show here. She's got the only alliances in the house and is winning all the competitions. Let's see. BB Blast Inc. Each house guest stands in front of a bomb that has various wires coming out of it. Each round, a screen will show a sequence of wires. After the wires are shown in a certain order, they will be given a clue as to which wire to cut. If a house guest cuts the wrong wire, they are eliminated. The last house guest remaining will become the new head of household. All right, so, wow, Paul once again in the final 3 of the competition. Danielle there and Jatia. I still want to see a Jatia HOH. Okay, cool. We're going to get one of the 2 I wanted. I'd be happy to see either one. I want to see where Jatia goes. Does she take the shot at Abby? Once again, she's not there. And Paul, we see him constantly there, constantly winning competitions, or at least in the final 2 or 3. So he stays in it again and wins the HOH. Paul has nominated PG and Earl. Now, we just saw their relationship crumble. So maybe it was a big thing in front of the entire house. Maybe it got ugly. Who knows? And PG's kind of been like wanting to go for a while. So let's see. All right. So Paul, as HOH, he draws first. And then he gets Jatia. PG draws Rachel. And Earl gets house guest choice and picks Abby Maria, who he's working with. So that makes sense. All right, I'm not about veto. The house guests are tied to a long, tangled rope. The first house guest to untangle their rope and reach the podium on the other side wins the power of veto. All right, so Abby finishes last. Paul finishing 5th. This is a little bit of a surprise. Earl 4th. So it comes down to Rachel, PG, and Jatia. All right, does PG save herself here? She does. All right, so... nothing's going to surprise me anymore, but she'll probably take herself off, and she does. Paul's replacement. So who do we think Paul's going to go after? He should go after Abby. He should be backdooring Abby here. Abby's been very strong, but let's see. Rachel. We did see that he nominated Rachel in the past, so that does track. So let's proceed. I believe that's who he nominated. All right, so next, the pressure of the game gets to Earl, leading him to a public emotional breakdown. Jatia tells a heartfelt story about why she needs some money. Rachel and Earl face eviction. They each give speeches on why they should stay. So Earl's had his hand in a lot of pots. He's been, turning on people. He just had a breakdown in the house. Or is it a Rachel backdoor? Let's see. All right, so Abby's vote is Rachel. That makes sense. Danielle's vote is Rachel. She's kind of been voting with Earl and Abby lately, so let's see. Jatia's vote is Earl. Keanu's vote is Earl. These 2 have been on the same page a little bit more recently, too. Kelly's probably going to go Rachel here. She does. And it comes down to PG's vote. PG is Rachel. No. By a vote of 4-2, Rachel is gone. Another heavy hitter down. Backdoor was in motion. All right. So, yeah, things are getting crazy. Paul and Abby seem to be the two front runners right now. PG's up there too, even though she's been kind of melting down. All right, so, alliance number 6 dissolves. The only remaining alliance is alliance number 7, and it's a strength of 9. So Abby, Maria, and Wentworth are the only ones working together. All right. Damn. All right. What a tangled web. The house guests stand at the end of a large spider web. They must untangle their ropes to enable themselves to cross to the other side. The first house guest to do so will become the new head of household. All right, so it comes down to, oh my gosh, Abby there again. PG, Abby, Danielle. Who will it be? In third place is Abby. She's not going to get her 4th HOH. PG, and now we got Danielle as the winner of the HOH. So very interesting. She's been voting with Earl and Abby recently, so maybe she'll stick to that, or maybe does she turn on them? Who knows? Let's see. She puts up Jatia and PG, so that makes sense. Doesn't really have too many ties there. Only 3 BB left. I know. BB is crumbling right now. But we got 2 nominees that are from Survivor. So let's see. Danielle's draw. She got house guest choice, and she voted Kelly to participate. Jatia is drawing Keanu to participate. And Paul gets drawn by PG. All right. Somewhere over the veto, each house guest stands at a buzzer across from a giant pit of gold coins. On Julie's go, the house guest must search through the pit for 2 4-leaf clovers. The first house guest to find both clovers and retrieve their veto medallion will win the power veto. All right, Paul finishes last. Danielle finishes 5th. Jatia in 4th. The competition comes down to PG, Kelly, and Keanu. All right, PG needs this one. Kelly in 2nd. Oh, PG not getting it. And Keanu is the winner. All right, so let's see here. Proceed. All right. Show Keanu's decision. Keanu does not use the power veto. It will be Jatia versus PG. All right, so this is where it's going to be interesting. The pressure of the game gets to Kelly, leading her to a public emotional breakdown. Earl invents a new game. The house is thrilled to have something new to do. Earl and Kelly bond slightly. While having a conversation, Jatia accidentally makes an inappropriate comment. All right, so nothing different from what we've seen. Jatia and PG face eviction. Here's the vote. All right, Abby votes to evict PG, her old alliance mate. What does Earl do here? Because he doesn't have alliance with PG anymore, but does he stay true to her? He does. He votes Jatia. Keanu's vote, PG. Kelly votes PG, and Paul votes PG. So Earl is on the outs of the vote, and everyone votes to get rid of PG. All right, PG, RIP, you are out of the game. Why didn't he use it on Jatia? It is interesting. All right, so here we go. Next, we have... Proceed. All right. So the remaining house guests, we got Abby Maria, who's been a beast. Danielle Reyes, who's won a couple competitions. Keanu's won 3. Paul's won 3. Jatia and Earl are kind of, and Wentworth are all kind of in that maybe GOAT category, which is kind of shocking. But let's see. Still a lot that can play out here. Still, the only alliance is Abby Maria and Kelly Wentworth, which is shocking to me. Earl wants that jury vote. Exactly. He's playing the long game. All right. BB Farms. The house guests enter the farm-themed backyard. They each stand in front of the individual chicken wire fences. They must collect 12 eggs by maneuvering them through the chicken fences, wire fences. The first house guest to collect all 12 will become the head of household. Earl finishes last. Is Earl throwing at this point? Kelly finishes 5th. Paul in 4th. The competition comes down to Abby, Keanu, and Jatia. I feel like Jatia needs it bad here. Abby, once again, close, but no cigar. All right, so Keanu or Jatia? Jatia finally wins some power, finally has some say in this house. What does she do? Because honestly, Jatia, we've seen her be a nominee. We've seen her get into fights with people, and no one's really working with her. So let's see who she goes after. My guess is she's going to go Abby and Kelly. No. She goes after Danielle and Earl. Interesting. All right, so Jatia drew Paul. Danielle got house guest choice and selects Kelly. And Earl gets Abby. All right. So the house guests are each chained by their ankles. The first house guest to use a collection of random items to retrieve a key from a stump on the opposite side of the backyard wins the power veto. Danielle finishes last. Paul in fifth. Kelly in fourth. It comes down to Jatia, Abby, and Earl. Does Earl save himself? So Abby's out. Jatia's out. Earl's going to save himself from the block. Oops. Did I just open that? I think I did. All right. Proceed. So Earl's going to use it on himself. Yep. The replacement. I really think it's got to be Abby here. It has to be. No, it's Kelly. It's her girl that she's working with. All right. So the final two nominees are Kelly and Danielle. All right. While having a conversation, Danielle accidentally makes an inappropriate comment. Not a good thing to do when you're on the block there, Danielle. Danielle attempts to blame and call out Jatia for certain actions and how Jatia deserves to leave. Really coming for Jatia here. All right, let's see the votes. Abby votes. She's going to probably save Kelly here. It's probably going to be Danielle. Yep, Danielle. Earl votes Danielle. Keanu votes Kelly. And Paul votes Danielle. Danielle is out of the house. Once again, making a good run, but can't seem to finish it out. Danielle is voted out 3-1. All right, so next we're down to our final 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Final 6. All right, so we have a new alliance forming. Abby, once again, her hand is in everything. Maybe that's why we haven't seen her go on the block. It's because everyone's working with her. Jatia and Keanu. So Keanu and Jatia, we did know had a relationship. So really, Abby is just shoring up all of her alliances. All right, so the house guests enter a carnival-themed backyard, to find various wooden ramps with different numbered slots at the top of each of them. Each round, they will be given an event that happened this season. They must recall which day that event happened and roll a ball up the ramp into the number slot. The farther away they were, the more penalty points they earn. The house guest with the least amount of penalty points at the end becomes the new head of household. Earl, once again, finishing last. Earl might be a GOAT. Let's be real. Earl might be a GOAT. Abby in fourth. Competition comes down to Paul, Kelly, and Keanu. So in third place, we have Paul. I mean, if Keanu wins this, nope, it's going to be Kelly. All right, so Abby Maria still, no matter what, in a great spot. I think Earl's in trouble, and I think Paul's in trouble with maybe Jatia. Yeah, Earl and Jatia, so that makes sense. So Jatia, we know she has ties to Abby, but maybe Kelly's like, I want Abby to myself, so I need to get rid of her. Or let's just get rid of Earl. He's the house consensus here. All right. Kelly as HOH and Earl and Jatia as nominees will participate. Everyone left will participate as well. All right. The house guests, each dressed in pig outfits, must swing into a large mud pit and bring a truffle back to their individual stations. Once there, they will open up the truffle to see a random point value. They must decide to keep or discard this point value, knowing that only 4 can be kept. The house guest with the highest combined score at the end of the competition will win the power veto. All right, Keanu finishes last, Jatia 5th, Paul in 4th. So it comes down. Will Earl save himself again? Will it happen? Let's see. Abby, not wanting to show her cards, bows out. Kelly, oh my gosh, once again, Earl is able to save himself with the power veto. Throwing HOHs, but earning the power veto when it's necessary. Earl is old. He must be over 65, right? Something like that. All right, so he uses it on himself, and the replacement is Keanu. Oh, no. Kelly's like, you're not going to form an alliance with my girl Abby, so I gotta bust this alliance up right now. I think Jatia might be in trouble. Keanu breaks down and threatens to quit. Keanu tells a heartfelt story on why he needs the money. So which is it, Keanu? All right, so let's show the vote. Abby, I'm going to say Jatia. No, she goes Keanu. Earl. Jatia. So it comes down to Paul's vote. We don't know where Paul lies. Jatia. Jatia is gone by a vote of 2-1. Keanu must be not highly regarded. Must not be highly regarded. All right, Jatia is gone. Let's proceed. Final 5. All right, so Abby isn't everything, man. Oh, well, this one dissolved, so it's not strong anymore, but she's still, because he's like, well, there goes my girl Jatia, so I don't need to work with you anymore. All right. The puck stops here. The house guests take turns shooting a puck down a curved shuffleboard. At the end of the red shuffleboard is a blue zone and a large rubber band. The player to make it the furthest into the blue section without going over the line, separating the two colors, will become the new head of household. Once again, Earl throwing an HOH. The competition comes down to Keanu, Paul, and Abby. In third place is Paul. Then Abby. Ooh, bad time for that relationship to dissolve there, Abby. Keanu's now the HOH. All right, let's say, man, this is tough. Probably going to be Kelly because he was just nominated by Kelly, and Abby because they just dissolved the relationship, and he probably knows they're working together. No, it's going to be Kelly and Earl. Maybe people are using Earl as either someone that they can put up constantly, or they just can't get rid of him, so they want to keep working on it. All right, so those are the competitors we know. Earl finishes last, can't save himself. The Veto King loses the veto. The house guests enter the backyard to see 6 Greek arches. They must roll their ball over the arch 300 times, the first one to win the power veto. All right, so you got Abby, Kelly, and Keanu. In third place is Kelly. Second place, Abby. So the winner is going to be Keanu. Keanu all the power this week. Keanu's going to keep it the same. No, he uses the power of veto on Earl. Oh, is there a backdoor in effect? Is it going to be Abby Maria? Let's see. No, it's Paul. Paul becomes possibly the backdoor candidate here. I don't know. That is strange that he uses it on Earl, but Earl saving himself once again. Abby holds a house meeting to apologize for her behavior and the help. It is well received. Kelly and Paul face eviction. They give their speeches, so let's see the votes. Abby, vote for Paul. I feel like Paul's a goner. Oh, he votes Kelly. All right. This is weird. So it's going to come down to Keanu's vote, and Keanu's going to vote for Kelly. What? Maybe he cut a deal with Keanu. He was like, listen, we got to go after Kelly. She's Abby's right-hand woman. We got to go after Kelly. Me and you need to work together. Take me off. We'll use Paul as the pawn, and we will go after Abby's numbers. And then sure enough. But why wouldn't you just go after Abby? I don't know what is happening. This season is wild. The season is wild right now. All right. We got our final 4. Keanu's becoming a big threat. Abby's been a big threat the whole game. Like, we got all threats here. So let's see. A new alliance is formed. How can all 4 of you work together if you're the final 4? What? Someone's turning on someone. I'll tell you that much. This season is off the wall. I'm kind of here for it, though. Before or after, the house guests are asked a series of questions about events that have transpired in the Big Brother house. The house guests must determine the chronological order of two events by giving an answer of before or after. The player with the most points at the end of the competition will become the new head of household. Earl must be laughing at the dumbassery, right? All right, in third place, Earl, once again, cannot win an HOH to save his life. Then Paul. Okay, so Abby is in the most important HOH she can win. She wins HOH. All right, so show the nominees. She's going to put up Keanu and Paul. Earl saving himself once again. I mean, did have a relationship with Abby. I don't know. I think Keanu's got to be the target hero. In third place, we have Paul. Second place, Keanu. And the winner is Earl. So obviously, it's going to stay the same. Oh. Yeah, it's going to stay the same. For a second there, I thought I saw Earl use the veto on Keanu. I was like, wait, that doesn't make any sense. That can't happen. All right, so proceed. Paul and Earl bond extremely well. He's really trying to get that vote. Paul's doing everything he can to keep him on the side, but Earl just got saved by Keanu, so let's see what happens. All right, so it comes down to one vote. What does Earl do? Does he save the guy he's bonded with just now, or does he save the guy who saved him last round? And let's see. Yep, the bonding wasn't enough. He voted to evict Paul. All right, so Paul is gone. Good game by Paul. Didn't have any alliances, but won some competitions. All right. Down to Keanu, Abby Maria, and Earl. Who had this as their final three? That was never in the cards for me that this would be our final three. It's Keanu's idea. Exactly. They had Abby and Earl against the ropes. All right. So let's proceed. I think it's Abby Maria and Earl basically against Keanu. Can Keanu win HOH? All right, Earthquake. The house guests enter the backyard to see a hill of rocks. With the nomination box at its center, each house guest must stand on a pair of poles, placing their key inside the box. The house guests must keep one hand on their keys at all times throughout the competition. The platform beneath the house guests will jolt around, simulating an earthquake. The last player standing with a hand on their key will win the first round of the final HOH competition. All right. In third place, will it be Earl again? No, Keanu loses the physical competition. Does Earl win his first HOH here? No. The front runner of the whole thing, Abby, wins part one. All right, so now we go to part two. Padlock. The two losers of part one enter the backyard and stand near their individual large padlock. They must read the clues on the padlock and answer them with a number. Once they have figured out all of the numbers in the correct order, their padlock will open and they will win part two of the final HOH competition and advance to part three. All right, Keanu, I feel like needs this. I think Earl will probably stay true to Abby and go after Keanu. Let's see who the winner is. Keanu. So once again, Earl just cannot win an HOH to save his life. I think Earl's a goat here. Let's proceed. But who knows? This thing has been so wild. Who knows? All right. Encore presentation. The two competing house guests will read 6 incomplete statements made by members of the jury. After hearing each incomplete sentence, they will be given 2 possible endings. They will then choose which ending they think the jury member actually said. For every correct answer, they will get a point. The house guest with the most points at the end of the 6 statements will become the final head of household. All right. Who do we think it's going to be? Team Keanu or Team Abby Maria? No one would have thought this would come down to these two. I think Abby's the front runner, but Keanu might be like that underdog. Like, he did win a lot of competitions, and does he have more friends on the jury? Well, let's see. Abby wins the head of household. I think Abby just locked up the win. Wow. Wow. All right, let's see. Earl and Keanu face eviction. They give speeches about why they should stay. Abby votes. I think Earl will be taken here. Let's see. Yep, she votes to evict Keanu. Keanu is gone. Good game by Keanu, though. Our final two are now going to be Abby Maria and Earl Cole. Abby has 5 HOHs and 2 POVs. Earl with just 2 POVs. He did have more of a social game, but Abby was very social as well. I really think it could come down to, I think it's going to be Abby. I think Abby's going to win here. All right, so let's go. Oop, where'd my mouse go? There it is. Abby and Earl giving opening speeches. The jury questions the 2 finalists. Abby and Earl wait for the winner to be revealed. The jurors vote. So here we go. Let's see the votes. Keanu votes for Abby Maria. Game respects game. Paul votes for Abby Maria. Kelly votes for Abby Maria. Yep, their alliance stays strong. Jatia probably going to vote. No, probably. I was thinking it was Keanu. No, she'll probably vote Abby. Abby, is it going to be a clean sweep? Abby, and Abby with the clean sweep. Earl was the GOAT. By a vote of 9-0, Abby Maria Gomez is your winner of Survivor versus Big Brother number 28. Big Brother 28. Wow. Oh, wow. That would have never been in the cards, in my opinion. But Comp Beast. Survivor destroys Big Brother and wins it all. Wow. We did it, guys. We did it. We came to the end of this story. Took us a while. We created the cast. We formulated it. We made some changes. Then we put it into the simulation. And Survivor defeats Big Brother at their own game with Abby Maria Gomez as the winner. So, don't know how true this would be in real life. But that's what we get. We get an Abby Maria win. So, there you go. Oh, wait. We forgot the fan favorite. Favorite vote comes down to Kelly, Rachel, and Vanessa. I think it's going to be Vanessa. Oh, Vanessa got the least votes. Rachel, is she just going to get that everyone loves Rachel vote? Nope. It's going to be Kelly as fan favorite. Did not see that coming. So congratulations to Kelly Wentworth. All right. Abby Maria. Statistics, yeah, she destroyed. She absolutely destroyed. Not Earl losing 0-9, the inverse of his season. Big Brother flopping like they always do. Oh, that was wild. That was fun, guys. That was fun. We did it. Let's switch screens. Oh, Abby. She's like, it was never in question. Kelly makes sense in my vanilla fantasy. Yeah, exactly. So, for those of you that, haven't subscribed, please subscribe after show right there. Follow me at GoodsbyBobby on both Twitter and Instagram. And if you guys can, go to twitch.tv/BobbyGoodsby. Give me a follow. I work hard at this, but I appreciate you guys all for being here and helping me out. I want you guys to know I appreciate all the love and support. This was a few days in the making, but we were able to make it, and it was a lot of fun. Right? Of course, Kelly is a fan favorite. But yeah, so like I said, we have no feeds right now. We're probably not, there's a good chance we might not get feeds for a bit. Oh, so they did say that they're going to be doing the Blockbuster for this week and next week. So if we remember back, we had said there's going to be a triple at some point. So that tracks that if we're going to have someone voted out right now, then our, loses and the White Locust thing and is out. And then we'll probably have a normal Blockbuster week for Thursday for this week. So one other person will go. Next week, we'll probably have just a normal week with the Blockbuster. They will go. So we'll be down to the final whatever. And then we'll probably have a triple the week before the finale. So then by the time the triple is done, we'll be down to the final 3. Yeah, I predict the twist would flop is Janky 2.0. I think that's what they're doing. I think they're doing some kind of janky 2.0. I think they're going to be in the backyard. I think it's a whole thing. So I think we're going to have a triple the final week before the finale, and then we'll have final 3 going in from there. So they're going to have the most people in the house. Like, they're going to have 6 people in the house up until the final week, and that's why the triple makes sense. Yeah, 6-3. So, yeah, so with that said, I'm going to probably take off here. I got a few things to do. This was a lot of fun. I am going to be going live on Sunday morning at 10 a.m., probably a little earlier, maybe like 9:30. For those of you interested, you don't have to be interested. I know it's not for everyone, but I will be doing a football live stream where I'll be watching Red Zone and reacting to it for the opening weekend of the NFL. So if anyone has any interest, I'll be going live around 9:30-ish and then be watching all the morning games on Red Zone and be reacting to it. So trying something different, trying to see if we can bring in a little audience from that. But I know that's not for everyone. I will be back Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, noon Pacific to 2 p.m. Pacific, with probably reality TV content. So the Sunday one will just be the football, and then the rest of the week will be my normal reality TV content. So if you guys want, join me next week. Like I said, 12 noon Pacific to 2 p.m. Pacific, and I'll be live on Twitch and YouTube. So give me a follow, give us a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought of the simulation. If you want to see other simulations in the future, maybe we do Big Brother vs. Survivor on Survivor. We could try that as well. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. Mary, Hilerma, Kate the Great One. You guys are all awesome. I appreciate you guys. And everyone else that's been watching in the background. This was a lot of fun. So with that said, I got to go pick up the little one. I'll see you guys later. And have a good night, guys. See you then.